Welcome into Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Happy Friday to everybody out there. Hope you're all getting set to have a fantastic weekend. And you know what a fantastic move for the Golden State Warriors would be, in my estimation? Signing Dario Saric. We do have an update on him, but why hasn't he signed anywhere yet in NBA free agency, as free agency officially started a week ago? Let's set the foundation here and pass along the latest on one of these Warriors free agent targets. Mark Medina, NBA insider, saying the Warriors still want to bring in Saric, but only for a veteran minimum contract. So the only way, according to NBA insider Mark Medina, that Saric will be San Francisco bound is if it's for cheap. And I think that Saric could field some pretty competitive offers elsewhere, but if he wants a role that fits him and his playing style, and he wants an opportunity to compete for an NBA championship, I think Golden State is a great fit for the former first-round pick out of Croatia. Anthony Slater of The Athletic also saying the other day, and we talked about this here on the show, that Saric does remain a priority target for the Dubs here in free agency because, as all of us know, beefing up that front court, getting some more size, I think is pivotal when you match the Warriors up against a team like the Los Angeles Lakers, who they lost to in the second round of the playoffs, or the defending champion Denver Nuggets. And there's also buzz that Saric is patient here, and he's fine with being patient this offseason because he wants to wait out the market to see where Dame Lillard goes, which could then decide where Saric heads next. Remember the report from last week, though, on day one of NBA free agency? We talked about it right here on Warriors Today, and it came from one of the more credible Warriors reporters, and Monty Poole of NBC Sports Bay Area. He had said this: per multiple sources, unrestricted free agent Dario Saric to the Warriors is a high probability. It's likely, according to one source. Why? He can stretch the floor, and he's also a stretch four. That's valuable. 2, high hoops IQ with sound all-around skills. Number 3, age, only 29 years old, and he fits the team's win-now approach that borders on desperation. Why are they desperate? Well, Steph Curry is 35 years old, and he just had a monumental offensive role last year. He's getting a little bit older. Klay Thompson aging, Draymond Green aging, and they're trying to capitalize on this win-now championship window. And I agree with Poole saying that. He could stretch the floor as a big, high hoops IQ, really skillful player, such a European in that regard, 29 years old, 2 years removed from this torn ACL coming up, when last year he still knocked down about 40% of his three-point tries. Very, very good player and a very good fit for the Dubs. And it really does boggle my mind that the Warriors here have not addressed center yet. Like, coming away from that Lakers series, we said the biggest need for Golden State is size, athleticism, and they haven't done anything to address that need outside of bringing back Draymond Green, who really doesn't help you as far as height goes. Now, the Warriors' bigs last year, this is a part of the problem. Their tallest player is Kevon Looney at 6'9". JaMychal Green was 6'9". Patrick Baldwin, who they traded away, 6'9". They do draft Trace Jackson Davis, but he too, a little bit smaller. Jonathan Kuminga at 6'7". And I know some of you might be saying, well, it's not like Saric is that tall either. He's also 6'9". Yes, but it's another big body who can play the 5, can play the 4, and the Warriors, as we know, prefer players with positional versatility. Before we continue to move forward on today's show, Warriors center targets coming up just around the corner. Make sure you subscribe to the show. We're a little more than 1,700 people away from 60,000 subscribers, so hit that sub button for daily Warriors coverage and year-round talk of the Dubs. Last 4 years for Saric here. Missed all of 2021 and 2022 because of that torn ACL that he suffered in the NBA Finals while with the Phoenix Suns against the Milwaukee Bucks. This past year, split between Phoenix as well as the Oklahoma City Thunder. 6.5 points per game, almost 46% from the field, and as I said a little bit earlier, nearly 40% from three-point range, the best mark of his career, and I think he's only going to continue to get better because I do believe that Saric can continue to improve. Now, sound off here. If you want the Warriors to sign Saric in NBA free agency, I need you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video because we want to see How many Warriors fans want to see him come into town? If not, if you don't want the Warriors to sign him, then I want you to comment why down below in that comment section. Now let's segue to some affordable centers that the Warriors can bring in on a veteran minimum contract. Let's begin here with Bismack Biyombo of the Phoenix Suns formerly. Biyombo, very, very solid player as a backup, and pretty cool story for him. He had a parent pass away a couple of years ago, and he thought about not continuing his NBA career. He did, and he's been a pretty good rotational big. This past year, 61 games played, good athlete, pretty long, has some bounce to him, 4 points per game, 4 rebounds, a block and a half. He was able to connect on about 58% of his shots. He is not a guy who's going to stretch the floor at all. He's going to hang around that basket, but because he hangs around that basket, especially on the defensive end of the floor, Bismack Biyombo can be a solid rim protector. More center targets here in just a second, but how about this deal thanks to our friends at Fanatics? Head to chatsports.com/dubscombo, and you can get yourselves this Warriors t-shirt combo, 2 shirts in one, $20 off today only. We'll put that link in the comment section and in the description of this video. Now to Dwight Howard. Didn't play at the NBA level last year. Instead, the future basketball Hall of Famer did play overseas, and his numbers overseas really were filthy. 23 points per game. I still think that Dwight Howard can be really, really active. He can run the floor pretty well. This is a guy who obviously has put together a marvelous career. He played for the Taiwan Leopards of the T1 League a year ago. There's not a lot of size in that league. There aren't a lot of skillful players in the front court. That's why his numbers were certainly inflated a lot at 23 points per game, 16 rebounds, 40% from the field, blocked a lot of shots. He's 37 years old. I think the Dubs need this type of size. I think they need this type of physicality. This guy can still be a dunker, operating off of that pick and roll and as a lob threat, and I think he would be a good addition to Golden State. To another player in Nerlens Noel who I'm intrigued by, just because of the athletic profile here, and defensively, I think that Nerlens Noel would be able to help what was one of the worst defenses in the NBA last year. He can block some shots. He can protect the rim. He can get his hands in the way of passing lanes and be an active player, and he's at a point where he is trying to prove that he can still play at the NBA level. Last couple of years, he has not been steadily used, but he's only 29 years old. And as a guy who was drafted by Philadelphia in 2013, round 1, pick 6, he tore his ACL at Kentucky in his lone season there at Kentucky. If he didn't get injured that year, probably would have been the number 1 overall pick. So the ability and pedigree has always been there. The game has passed him by just a little bit because he can't shoot the rock. He's a bad free throw shooter, and sometimes he gets played off the floor at the end of games whenever he is on the floor. And he's been on some bad teams, hidden on that depth chart as well. But for the Dubs, we see that sometimes they can be a rehabilitation center for a lot of players who are looking to prove that they can still play at this level. Nerlens Noel can be a beneficiary of that Warriors culture. So with that, let's ask you this here. Nearly 350 people watching live here on Warriors today. Awesome to see. Which free agent center do you want the Warriors to sign here in free agency? Let me know down below. Don't forget to subscribe and keep your eyes peeled for daily Warriors updates.